And celebrate you for a minute, my
Let's
friend.
go.
What you guys got?
All right, we all know him as the actor, right? But the director for the first time in his career of Creed 3, release date March 3rd.
Yes, sir.
So
Thanks so much,
congrats.
man. Thanks, man. I'm excited about this one.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I'm going to give you my money. I'll be there.
Hey, man, please do, man. Opening weekend, we need you guys.
So here's the deal. You and Ryan Coogler, man, you got some bitty-biggy history together. All right? We talk about hits and classics. Black Panther, Creed 1 and 2, Fruitvale Station.
That's right.
What made you feel ready, though, to take the challenge as a director after you've proven yourself as a top-tier actor?
I think this was like all roads to my life led to this moment. You know, it was a character that I knew very well. You know, a shorthand with my cinematographer. This is our fourth movie that we've done together, and I felt like it was the perfect kind of mixture of, like, you know, healthy fear and anxiety to kind of get in there and do it, but at the same time very comfortable with the character that I have. You know, I played him for 8 years, so it's kind of like a little bit, you know, Mike and Adonis starts to blend in together a little bit. So this is a movie that I really felt comfortable doing, and I had a cast and a crew that really supported me every step of the way.
So I always wondered this: if you're directing and acting, do you like cut yourself, like cut, my bad, y'all, my bad?
I think that's the fun part about it, because I'm a little bit more self-aware inside of a scene, and it's almost like a superpower. You can kind of direct as you act.
Yeah.
And I think having a cast that understands that, they give me the space and the grace to be able to do that. So it was a really, really fun experience, but now I got the itch. I want to get back behind the camera and do it again, because, you know, once you do something that you wasn't quite sure about, but you feel like you're good at it, you want to go back and just try it again to make sure it wasn't a fluke. You know what I'm saying?
You know, we go ahead, please.
No, I was going to say, you said the characters are starting to blend now with you and Adonis. What is that common thread between the two?
I think it's a lot of, like, deserving where you are right now. You know, I think there's a lot of survivor's guilt, you know, for me anyway, you know, of my path and my journey to where I am now. And for a long time feeling like maybe I didn't deserve what I got. And I think you know, looking inward, you know, you gotta reflect on the past. You gotta look at yourself and, like, face those demons, you know, that childhood trauma, whatever it is, where that starts from, and it's okay to talk about it. I think there's a lot of masculinity issues of, like, men not being able to talk about how they feel or what the problem is, and I wanted to address those things in the form of a film. So that's one of the things that we have. So a part of that was, like, me facing my own demons, but at the same time working it out through this movie. So the whole film for me was a little bit like a little bit therapy, therapy for myself.
Love that.
No, it's interesting to hear you talk about that, because I remember in the 80s, Magic Johnson and I, like, hugging and kissing, and that was like, that was like, men don't do that. Like, it was controversial and everything else. And to hear you talk about, you know, finding yourself through that, and now seeing everybody we see now is like the hug, you know, before an NBA game. It's like, but, you know, again, this journey that you was on, not only personally, but also as an actor and now director. When you say it all blends and comes together, what's the one thing that you found out about yourself that you didn't know about yourself?
How to openly communicate. I think through this project, I had to learn everybody else's love language, and really accept them for who they are and how they need to be communicated to. And it's okay for me to, like, talk to somebody how they need to be, like, spoken to, and give them what they need. And in return, I'm getting what I need.
Sound like a point guard, right?
And it's,
come on now.
But it's nothing weak or soft or anything about that. You know what I'm saying? It's okay, you know, to be a bigger person or just being a leader. You know what I'm saying? And lead by example. So I've said it. I've you know, tried to have examples of that. But when you get put in a position as a director, you know, it all ends up on your shoulders, and you got to step up to the plate. So that was one of the biggest things that I learned stepping away from this movie.
So in y'all industry, do you have that KYP?
KYP, what's that?
Know your person. Because you're the point guard now.
You're the point guard now. You're the director.
You're running the show.
I'm going to take that. I'm going to take that, KYP.
Know your personnel.
Okay, that's right.
Can't talk to everybody the same way, you know?
But you got to know how to coach them up and get the best out of everybody. So that was definitely something that I learned from this movie. KYP, okay.
So how do you coach yourself up? Like, right, you know, it's like when we missed that shot or we missed that pass, and we can't call timeout. It's like, you got to, come on, Renee, we got to, you know. What do you do when you miss that? When you say cut,
And I could
Let me do it over again.
Yeah, let me get that one
How
again.
do you scream at yourself?
I think it's a little bit of like, you know, being hard on myself for sure.
But you know that's crazy, right?
We a little nuts. You know we nuts, right? I talk to myself in the mirror all the time, bro. Yeah, we a little crazy. But no, at the same time, I got people around me. Like surrounding myself with smart people who I expect their opinion. And I know they're going to give it to me straight. I got no yes people around me, you know, the producers, my personal crew. You know, they're able to check me. Hey, Mike, you missed it on that one. Hey, the thing with the eyebrows, like relaxing. Okay, cool. So I got people like checking my stuff as well. And I'm able to call up Ryan or call one of the other producers, you know what I'm saying, people that I trust, and they'll always give me some honest feedback.
You know, you mentioned Ryan again, and I realized something as we were sitting here, because not everybody knows exactly who Ryan Coogler is because he's behind the camera, something you're doing now. Ryan Coogler is the director of some of the biggest hits of your career, right?
Yes, sir.
Tell me more about that relationship, growing together, and what you've learned from him over the years from your start as Oscar Grant in Fruitvale Station to now as Adonis Creed.
Ryan Coogler is one of the most incredible human beings that I know. You know, authentically himself in every room that he steps in, powerful when he speaks, well prepared in whatever he wants to step up and do. And when we first met on Fruitvale Station, we both kind of came into this like, all right, his first feature film, the first time I'm a lead of a film.
Wow.
I checked off a lot of boxes. I answered a lot of questions. Could I lead a feature film like that? And me and him, we did it together. And then we double back and do it again for Creed, and then we do it again on Black Panther. So we just kind of grew up in this industry together in a real way. And he's a special guy. Now I'm trying to bring him back for another project right now. But he's incredible, man. And I wouldn't be where I'm at today, honestly, if it wasn't for our relationship and what we built together.
How many hours go into like studying and preparing, you know, for a script, understanding it, taking it, making it yours, and then becoming it? Like how much time and preparation really goes into that whole process?
Months, you know, months, years sometimes, if you're lucky enough to like be a part of a project before it actually starts going. And for me, a lot of the projects that I do, I know well in advance that that's what's up next. So I start to slowly become the guy or get inspo and comps and how am I going to put this character together? How am I going to put this project together? The visuals. You start to daydream. It all starts with daydreaming, man. I daydream all the time.
That sounds like Hoops for real, right?
You got to visualize the move. You got to visualize the past. See you as you're moving. And the same thing for me. Like sometimes I'll get a scene in my head. I don't know what the scene is yet, but I know what it looks like. And sometimes that will inform like what I want the scene to be. You know, it's a lot of different ways to approach it, but that's just one of them.
Well, we appreciate not only your acting and directing vision, but your vision for today and how beautiful and how wonderful this is and putting HBCUs on the showcase here. The Invesco QQQ Legacy Classic is offering an amazing career summit presented by Deloitte. Deloitte is offering HBCU students around the country a free and unique opportunity to learn from industry leaders and HBCU alumni. Stay tuned to the Legacy Classic handle @Legacy Classic to learn more about Deloitte's first session on February 7th. We appreciate you, Michael B.
The hoop. No matter where it hangs or what it's on, it doesn't know the color of your skin.